Hello everyone, this is Big Al Hoffman Vlogs here. Welcome to the vlog. This is going to be a different sort of vlog here, as I'm going to be talking about my job. Normally don't talk about my job at all on the vlogs, other than maybe stuff I do during my job and stuff like that, but some recent things have been happening with my job here. Let me just start from the beginning. In 2008, I took a job being an independent contractor for a courier company called Dynamics, which is now called T-Force. But back then, when I first took this job, it was pretty lucrative. It wasn't so bad at all. I had plenty of work to do all the time. They always worked very hard to get me plenty of work to do, plenty of things to do. It was great. But since then, probably in the last 3 years, maybe about 3 years ago, they closed down most of the dispatching services in Minneapolis here, and our main hub is down in Dallas, Texas. That's the first problem right there, because they used to have salespeople here in Minneapolis getting work for us. If we'd lose customers, other customers would be developed through the sales team. It was never an issue finding work to do. All the dispatching and all the office services pretty much are done in Dallas, and there's no salespeople that I know of now in Minneapolis. So any salespeople they have come out of Dallas to come up here and try to do sales. And recently, because of that, it just seems like Dynamics is losing customers, and they're not getting very many customers back. So there's not very many customers. As it is right now, I drive a dock truck, as you know from previous vlogs. Basically, there's not very many dock trucks on the road. I don't know exactly how many there are. I know there's a lot of dock trucks that are doing stuff for dedicated services, which is one thing, but it used to be we had just a ton of trucks out there just doing on-demand stuff, which is basically somebody calls in and they order a job that needs to be done, and so that then they take it and then they dispatch it out to a driver that's close or that's going to be going by there. Well, pretty much all of that has gone to nothing. So there's nothing there. And about 3 years ago, actually, let's see, about 5 years ago, I was doing real well. I had this paper company that we used to do business through. I'm not going to say any names of any companies or anything. I don't want to get in trouble here. But that was a very good job for me. I mean, the dispatcher that I used to have, he filled in all the gaps for me. I would start at a certain time of the day, and I'd pretty much work straight through and be done at a certain time of the day. That company got bought out by a company in Massachusetts, I believe, which was a bigger company, and they changed their name. And as a result, it took a little while, but they got all their own trucks so that they could do all their own deliveries and everything like that. Then, of course, there was no reason for me to be there anymore. So they did away with Dynamic Services altogether. And the biggest thing about this is we might have been able to keep some of this work, but the other drivers that Dynamics had were basically worthless. They would never, I mean, this company wanted to hire me on as a driver, but I was doing, they could not offer me what I was making at the time, so I passed on that offer. I really wish I would have took that offer. I did not know what was going to happen after this offer was done. I'm sorry I'm venting here, but this is basically what's happening. And so basically I passed up on that job offer because things were going well. So when I lost this job, it was quite a bit of revenue that I lost. But I figured Dynamics has been pretty good in the past about filling in the gaps. They really have not filled in this gap at all. I start at 2 o'clock every day, we'll say, just kind of roughly around 2 o'clock. That's one of the nice things about being an independent contractor. You can kind of be a little bit flexible on the time you start and the time you finish. But I always started kind of late because all the stuff I did was in the afternoon and the evenings and at night. So that's the reason that I start so late every day. So I start at 2 o'clock, I do a job, and then I got to sit for about an hour, hour and a half. Sometimes every once in a great while, they'll have something for me to do in between to fill that gap. Just on demand thing. It's not anything dedicated. So then if there's anything to do, I'll do that. Otherwise, I'm sitting for an hour, hour and a half, waiting for the next pickup for the same company. Because this thing I come in for at 2 o'clock is a dedicated service. So I do it Monday through Friday, every day. And so at 2 o'clock I pick up, and then I gotta wait till 5 o'clock to pick up the second one. So I get done at 3 o'clock picking and dropping the first one. I gotta sit and wait till 4:30, 5 o'clock, depends on when they have the stuff done ready. Then I pick that up, and then after that, I got a choice. It all depends on if I can of picking up at this next place at 6 o'clock. If I can't pick up there at 6 o'clock because I'm running late from the job before, then I pick up there at 9 o'clock because that's when their night shift starts. So if I can't pick up at 6 o'clock, then I have to wait all the way till 9 o'clock to pick it up. Well, there's potentially 3 hours right there. I used to take this as a time to be able to do some riding when I was cycling last year. This year I kind of didn't really want to cycle. I was kind of burned out of it, so I kind of got out of it. The biggest reason for that is because during the week I'm generally pretty tired, and that's why I really don't do any vlogging during the week. I don't have any time to do any vlogging. So basically I'm just venting here, I guess. So if I do pick up this company at 6 o'clock, then I get that delivered to where it's got to go by 7 o'clock generally, or 7:30 at the latest. But then my next pickup after this job is not until between 11:30 and 12 o'clock midnight. Well, there's another flipping 2-3 hours right there. I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm not working a lot of hours, but I'm spending a lot of time away from my family. 2 weeks ago on Friday, it was right after I got back from my trip. I happened across a guy that I've known for years that does some work through Dynamics, and also he does work through other companies, but he's got his own business, and he's got about 4 or 5 trucks. I think he's got 4 trucks right now. And basically, it's getting a little chilly out here. I'm sorry, I'm shivering a little bit here. Gotta work myself up here. All right. Anyways, I've known him for years. He came on a little after I did, and I've known him ever since. And he's grown his company to 4 trucks. And him and I were talking. He was picking up at a place I was dropping some stuff at, and we were just chatting, and ended up chatting for like an hour and a half because he was telling me about the stuff he does, and he was telling me the fact that he wanted to get another driver on is what he wanted to do, but he did not have. But with the economy the way it is, the unemployment rate is very low. It's almost nil. The only people that really aren't working right now are people that don't want to work, or that just can't work for disability reasons. So he's having a hard time getting drivers on. And so I proposed to him that all the stuff that I do, he could meld it into his company. It was kind of it wasn't me just saying it. He had the same idea as I had after I brought it up to him. But meld my stuff that I do into his company, and then I work for him as an employee. I gave him an offer on an hourly wage, which this hourly wage is pretty hard to get when you first start a job, but he knows me very well, and him and I are the only ones that in T-Force now that work at night. So if I take a vacation or a day off, generally he'll be the one covering for me. So he knows the stuff that I do. He knows what I do every day. Basically, so just earlier today he went in and talked to the guys at T-Force, and they were saying they're kind of upset the fact that I never came to them about the idea that I didn't want to do it anymore. I mean, I've talked to them lots of times about the fact that I need more work. I need something to fill this gap because I don't want to sit around for 3-4 hours in between. But now, the fact that I'm getting older here, I'm almost 50 years old, for crying out loud, I do not want to work 12, 13-hour days. And the truck doesn't get any cheaper. I got, truck payments, I got insurance, I got fuel. I got to keep up with the DOT requirements because I got my own DOT number. It's just not working out anymore for me. This company is not able to get me more work, or so I thought. Well, really, they don't, because the proposition that they mentioned to the other guy was the fact that they would take somebody else's work and pass it over to me to keep me on. I am just flabbergasted at that. I can't believe that they would starve somebody else just to keep somebody else on that really doesn't want to be there. I'm assuming I'm going to be having a meeting with these guys in the next couple days. We'll see how that goes. I'm assuming they'll probably give me a call tomorrow the way it sounds, and I'll probably have a meeting with them in the next couple days here, and then I'll do an update video for you on that. Like I say, normally I don't talk about work because, work's just kind of something that everybody does and that everybody deals with. But the way this company is going lately, if I stuck with them, I would be doing my family and I a great disservice doing it. If I work for somebody else, I'll get vacation, I'll get sick pay, stuff like that. I mean, I'm just getting sick of dealing with all the headaches, and so is my wife. She's the one that does the bills, so she's been on me for a bit to find another job. And basically the only reason I haven't is because I was holding on to the idea that I would be able to, that they would get me something to go in between here. Well, it turns out the only way they're going to get me something to go in between and make this work is if I threaten to quit. Go figure. I'd sit there for 2-3 years trying to get them to get you something, and now that they know that I'm going to be walking out the door and going somewhere else, that's when they gotta go offer me all this stuff just to try and string me along. But anyway, I'm gonna throw down a follow-up video on this, an update video. I'll probably throw it up the day after I talked with these people in the meeting and let you know what happens. But like I said, I've known this guy for a long time. I know who he is. I know I respect him quite a bit. He's doing a very hard thing. I mean, he's doing what I'm doing times 4 or 5. If I come on, he's going to buy another truck for me. So I mean, and he just, all he wants to do is he's young enough. I think he's probably around 32 years old. He just wants to build a business. He wants to keep building his business. I don't want to go through all the headaches to try and build a business this way. Trucking can be very lucrative, but you never get any time off. You never get time with your family. That's the biggest thing right now. I don't have any time with my family during the week. I start at 2 o'clock. I probably get home about 3:30 in the morning, maybe, if right around there. And I don't see my kids until morning when I get them off to school. But the biggest thing is I get them off to school. It's hard for me to wake up in the morning if I get home at 3:30. And I got to have some wind down time, so I don't get to bed till 4:30. Then I got to get up at 7 in the morning to get the kids off. It gets really hard. And then I got to go back to bed, get up again. It's just getting really difficult, and I just I think most of this is I don't have any will to work myself, to run myself like that anymore, like I did when I was younger. When I was younger, I didn't have any problem getting 2-3 hours of sleep a night, but now at this point in my life, I don't want to do that anymore. So kudos to those who want to work like that. When you're young, you can do that, and you don't have to worry about being as tired If you're tired, you just go to bed and wake up in a few hours and you're good to go. I mean, that's the way I used to be when I was younger. I was really gung-ho. I worked really hard when I was younger. I don't know of anybody that would say that I was lazy. And I'm still not lazy, but I think I'm just getting a little more to the point where I don't want to work my body as hard anymore. Anyways, with all that being said, I think that's going to be the vlog for today. I just wanted to talk about what was going on. And I'm hoping that as a result of this change, I really, really, really want to put more time into making videos, putting videos on YouTube, just making videos in general. Spending more time with my family is the biggest thing. I need to spend more time with my family. I really want to make videos. I really want this channel to grow. If you feel it, if you like my content's only going to get better here. Because I'm going to be working about 8-hour days, maybe 9-hour days tops with this guy. So I'm going to have, that's going to be another 3-4 hours. I could be making more videos a week easily once I figure out how to make it work. It's hard to make it work during the week because of work and you know, the kids' schedule and everything. Everybody's schedule is everywhere. So anyway, with that being said, let's just close down this vlog. Make sure you share it, no matter what anyone else thinks, because that's what makes you you. That's what makes you unique, and that's what makes you stand out, and that's what makes you awesome. So don't be afraid to sign it and say it with me. Passion.